Today we'll be making a run towards the all-time record high temperatures for March, and then tomorrow there's a risk of severe thunderstorms as temperatures do remain warm, but moisture approaches. I'm meteorologist Hans Leach coming at you with this update and not on vacation, unlike last August when a severe thunderstorm outbreak happened. First off, I'm going to talk about the 80-degree threat this or today. And then just for the record, I would like to say I am currently forecasting 79 degrees. However, considering that there is a chance it could overperform and having a degree off either way is pretty common, I'm going to put the slide in just to show how unprecedented 80 degrees is. It isn't really unprecedented, however, it's been almost 80 years, with the only time on record at PDX being March 16th in 1947. But if you go further back for downtown Portland, there are two times downtown Portland has hit 80 degrees. On March 28th, 1930, where it hit 83 degrees, and on March 29th, 1923, where it hit 82 degrees. The average first 80 degrees does happen in early May, and I'd probably say the chance of hitting 80 is probably about 35% right now, so better chance we stay below than hit 80. I think the chance we get above 75 is pretty much guaranteed at this point. Now, on to the Storm Prediction Center's convective outlook, and this is what I'm concerned about for Wednesday. This is as of 10:30 when I got this on Monday night, and I'm recording this at about 2 a.m. Tuesday morning, and there has been no update since then. So, the entirety of the Willamette Valley going up into the lowlands of western Washington, including most of the coast ranges, are under a marginal threat for severe thunderstorms. Normally, a marginal threat is enough for me to trigger these forecast videos. And the last time we saw a marginal threat on anything before the day of was that August severe thunderstorm outbreak last year. We did see marginal on the day of about a month ago when we had the isolated severe thunderstorms and the tornado warning. I will also note that the Storm Prediction Center has mentioned that they are considering upgrading at least portions of this area to a slight. I would expect these areas to be more concentrated over the Cascades or the Cascade foothills as they have a higher chance of thunderstorms compared to the Willamette Valley. So the setup for this event, starting with the heat wave for today, if you even want to call it that, high pressure system will be situated to our east today. And that is coupled with what we call a thermal trough. So low pressure system will be situated to the south and the west, a very weak low pressure system. So as a result, is not going to produce any precipitation for down there, but it is going to bring easterly winds coming off the Cascades and through the Columbia Gorge. Now, unlike the wintertime where this could cause a Arctic blast if there was a cold pool built up. Once we get past about the 10th of March, the favorability changes to warmer temperatures, and that's exactly what this is going to bring for us. This type of setup is how we get our highest temperatures during the spring and summer months. And then let's move on to tomorrow's setup. So in this case, a upper level low pressure system will slowly move towards our region. It'll never quite go over us, instead park its way off the coast and slowly progress northeastward. As it does so, that increases the risk of thunderstorms for our area. The biggest threat will be over the Cascade foothills, in my opinion, as I do believe the topographic influence will enhance the output of those thunderstorms and create just a little bit extra instability compared to what would happen in the Willamette Valley. Because that upper level low pressure system is riding over those warm temperatures that we are experiencing, that is what's causing the instability in the air. And while it is still a little bit early season for that, where typically we see thunderstorms more often in May and June being our two most frequent months for severe thunderstorms, they're not unheard of this early in the season. In fact, the largest tornado outbreak in our history happened about a week later in the calendar. This upper level low pressure system will be followed by a lower level low pressure system that will bring a pretty weak windstorm, though it is pretty late season for a windstorm. So, onto our forecast notes. I do not really see a large chance for a tornado if you just say, okay, what's the chance anywhere in the Pacific Northwest? Because that was a pretty broad swath of marginal risk. I'm going to say less than 10% anywhere sees a tornado. Just one. Higher chance of hail of severe levels, which is an inch in diameter, about a 30% chance. Again, most likely over the Cascade foothills or into the Cascades proper. Most likely gusty winds up to 65 miles per hour in severe cells. Thursday, I'm thinking gusts will be probably closer to about 30 to 50 miles per hour, widespread about 30 to 40, with about 50 to 60 miles per hour being more common on the coast. So, and then just as a side note, the 65 miles per hour is the upper end of what I would expect, and that's if the thunderstorm cells get pretty organized, because they are, despite it only being 2 days out, high resolution models those are still showing some disagreement on how many or the strength. Though there is remarkable agreement on that this is going to be a pretty big thunderstorm threat by our standards. Some do show supercells by our standards. I don't expect them to be the type of supercells you see in the Midwest where the cloud tops get to 50,000 feet. I anticipate these will be more low top supercells, and as a result, will not produce as strong hail or winds as you would expect. All right, onto our timeline, and I'm going to show the Portland temperatures here because this threat is going to be larger for Portland than it is in the southern Willamette Valley. High temperature today, again, 79 degrees before cooling off. Low temperature will be in the mid 50s before quickly warming up to the 70s. I anticipate the high temperature to be in the mid 70s between about 11 and 3 as the thunderstorms roll in. There's kind of two waves that I'm seeing with the higher resolution models. The first wave would happen in the late morning to early afternoon hours from about 11 to 2:30, 3 o'clock, where the cells would be pretty isolated. So I'd call it about 30 to 40% chance anywhere sees these thunderstorms. More similar to what we saw at the end of February. And then some of the higher resolution models afterwards is showing more of a organized thunderstorm band rolling through afterwards, while others just continue the isolated cells. So I've increased the chance to 60% compared to the earlier in the day chance, and temperatures will quickly drop after about 3 o'clock instead of keeping warming to our normal daytime high temperature or time frame at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon this time of year. After sundown, the thunderstorm threat does end, and sundown this time of year is a little bit after 7:30, and we'll just transition over to off and on rain showers, which will continue the next couple of days. These being mainly light rain on Thursday and Friday, with temperatures cooling off into the 50s. For today and tomorrow, however, for the South Valley, I anticipate temperatures will be in the mid 70s, about 2 or 3 degrees cooler than the Portland metro area. Afterwards, temperatures will be similar in both forecast zones, with high temperatures in the 50s until Saturdays, one day back in the 60s on Sunday, and then back to regular old rain showers on Monday. Currently, yeah, I would expect it to be drier and no chances of thunderstorms this time. Low temperatures will remain near normal through the 7-day period, with the exception of tonight and tomorrow night. Similar story for the Portland metro area, with the high temperature of 79 degrees today, dropping to about 76 is what I'm expecting tomorrow, and then dropping further into the 50s on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, warming up a little bit on Sunday, then cooling off on Monday. The only other change I'm making in compared to the South Valley is that I do anticipate low temperatures to remain primarily above normal instead. So that is going to be it for this video. I will learn more details today about this, so I will be coming out with an update tonight. I think the biggest thing that is going to affect the thunderstorm chance is how much daytime heating we get tomorrow. If that is going to be closer to the upper 70s, like some models are suggesting, that increases the risk as well. If that holds onto the colder side of the models, which is right around upper 60s to lower 70, that will decrease our chances of thunderstorms because the clouds will move in sooner on those models. So we'll see how it looks tomorrow night. I will give you the latest then. Until then, stay safe out there and take care.